All right, so we are doing chapter 4, lesson 4, and our main topic is fractions. And these fractions are going to have x's, they're going to have x squareds, they're going to have just normal numbers, plus signs, minus signs. And so what's going to be different, or what we really need to focus on, is finding common denominators and then changing the numerators. So back in 4th and 5th grade, when we started doing fractions, we learned that if the denominators were different, then we could make the denominators the same number, but we'd have to change the numerators because the parts of the whole change. So, common denominator is also called the least common multiple. All right, what is the common denominator of 3 and 12? Not 3 is too small, so you can't go smaller. 12. So I would basically say that the common denominator is 12. That's all we're going to do right now. And then down below, we're going to actually work them out. Number 2, G and F are different things. What is the common denominator of those two things? GF. So if I were to make a new fractions, it would be GF, GF. And then that's my new denominator, right? Okay. Third one. I have a binomial and I have a trinomial that isn't factored yet. So we need to factor. Anytime you can factor, or GCF, or whatever, simplify to make your life easier. Two numbers that multiply to make 14 and add up to -5. -7, Yep. X minus 7, X plus 2. So my first fraction has a denominator of X plus 2. My second fraction has a denominator of X plus 2, X minus 7. So my least common multiple. Now I realize that you visually are looking at X plus 2 and you see it twice. But my common denominator, I'm only going to list it once. And I have to list whatever else is there that's not, we only write things one time, but there's also the X minus 7 there. So my common denominator would be both things. We only would write the X plus 2 one time because it's in common with both. This has one and this has one. So we only need to write it once. Now I'm actually going to do the math. I'm going to use the horizontal method. My brain, I love when I did fractions like this, whatever, 2/7. I love fractions like in this format. But in our notes today and in the textbook, it's not like that. So we're not going to go vertical. I'm going to do horizontal. So the common denominator of 1/3 and 1/12 is a 12. Right? Okay. What did I multiply 1/3 by to get a 12? 4. I cut each third part into 4 littler ones. So 1 times 4 got me the 4. What did I do to 12 to get a 12? Times 1. Great. Anyways, it's 1. My final answer is 5/12. Okay. Number 2. I'm going to rewrite it. So my common denominator was both denominators, GF. All right, let's do colors. What did I do to a G to get GF? It already has G in the denominator, but what? Multiply by F. So I'm going to multiply the denominator by F and the numerator by F. You're basically multiplying by whatever the denominator doesn't have. So I'm going to multiply and I'm going to get 3F for my new numerator. All right, now F becomes GF. So what did I multiply F by to get GF? So 7G. Since the numerators are not like terms, I cannot combine them. 3F plus 7G, it just stays separate all over GF. would be my final answer. Okay. Now, yeah. 2G. When my common denominator was 12, did I make this a 24? So it's the same concept of all the original rules stay the same. And it does get confusing. I absolutely know. All right. Let me rewrite the problem just because I want to. X minus 7, x plus 2. Okay. My new denominator is both binomials, x plus 2, x minus 7. So there's that. Now, I had an x plus 2 originally, and now I'm changing it to x plus 2 and x minus 7. So what do I have to multiply my first fraction by? What am I going to multiply the 5 by so that I have both in my denominator? And you have to do the x as well. Like that. So I'm going to multiply 5 times x minus 7. And really and truly, you are going to distribute that. So I could just put 5x minus 35. Because I know I'm going to have to do it anyways. Or, let's go slow because I can't do it on the second one. All right. What did I do to this denominator to get this denominator? But it's the same. So I don't have to multiply by anything over there. So now I have 5x minus 35 plus x minus 6 all over x plus 2, x minus 7. Okay, let's go really slow. I am wanting you to FOIL in this case. So the quiz you just took, I didn't need you to FOIL. I wanted everything written as parentheses, simplified. But now, if I were to leave it like this, I can put things together in the numerator. So I am going to put 5x plus x together. And I'm going to put negative 35 and negative 6 together. X plus 2, x minus 7. Because I want the numerator to be fully simplified. That means if I can combine like terms, I'm going to. If it were a circumstance where I could factor GCF out the 6 or something, I would do something like that. But I'm not going to. Okay? So that is just the intro. I wanted to remind you about how to do fractions. Finding common denominators. So now let's go to your notes. Yellow, please. The first two are nice because they have the same denominator. So in your groups, can you do number 1 and number 2 with your people? Go ahead, talk, work on them. I'll give you 4 minutes. Go ahead.
She said,
All right. First one. What'd you get for the numerator? If the denominators are already the same, what did you do? Just add them. X plus 5, and we only write the denominator once because it's a common denominator. When the denominators are the same, you only focus on the numerators. Okay, now do this second one, noticing the x squared plus 3x has something special about it. So go ahead and work on that second problem of number 1.
You guys get you guys get they're not the same, but I just use this.
I'm going to write my denominator in simplified form, but my numerator put things together. What'd you get?
5x minus 7.
5x minus 7. If I had a GCF or something I could take out, then I would, but I'm okay. All right? All right. Second example is just finding the common denominators. So I'm going to write everything out. So my first denominator is x plus 2 squared. X plus 2, x plus 2. My second, what multiplies to make 6 and adds up to 5? What? 3 and 2? Yeah. Now, I want to know what's the same for both. Like, for example, this has 2 x plus 2's, but this side does not. So I want to know, what do they have in common? What's the same? What's the LCM going to be, or the common denominator? What's it going to be? What's the same in both? The x plus 2. For sure, that's going to be one of them. Now, the x plus 3 is on the right side, but there is not an x plus 3 on the left. I have to include whatever's still there. So there is one of them there, and it's not going away on this right side. So I also am going to say x plus, okay. But this denominator also has 2 of the x plus 2's. So I'm going to do x plus 2 twice. I wrote it out of order, but whatever. You have to include what all the things have, okay? So this one has 2x plus 2's. So I can't just take one of them away. This has an x plus 2 and an x plus 3. So I'm including everything I can. All right, factor out all these on the right. So x cubed minus 9x. What does that simplify to? So I just need someone to yell it out for me. Oh, and then what do you do with the x squared minus 9? Okay. Now, so for sure my common denominator is going to have all 3 of these things, because this one has all 3 of those. Middle, what multiplies to make 15 and adds up to 2? X minus 5. Oh, wait, hold on. Plus 3. Good. And the last thing. X and x minus 5. Okay. So my LCM is going to need to be, like, For sure, the first one has an x alone. So if it's in one of the denominators, it has to be part of my new common denominator. My first also has an x plus 3x minus 3. That has to be a part of it because it's there. Now look at the middle. What's here that I haven't written down yet? The x minus 5. Okay? Look at the third. What's here that hasn't been written down yet? Okay. Everything's been written down. My least common multiple, my common denominator is 4 items. 4 terms there. Okay? Now what's going to happen is I'm going to list my new common denominator, and then I'm going to have to change around the numerators and multiply the numerators by whatever's missing. And that's where it gets a little confusing. So here we are, adding rational expressions with unlike denominators. All right, what is the sum? Okay, first task, we really need to figure out the LCM. So get everything in simplest form so we can see all these parentheses. X squared minus 1, difference of 2 squares. And then the second trinomial has to be factored. X plus 1, x minus 1. What's the factored form of the second denominator? All right. So I'm going to make sure that everything is accounted for, and the things that are in common are also important. All right. This left denominator has both of these things, so I have to include both of these things. X plus 1, x minus 1. This second has what? Okay, have I included an x minus 2 yet in my common? No, so let's do that. Have I included an x minus 1? Yeah. So now everything is represented. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I need to change the numerators by multiplying. I'm going to multiply by what's missing. What's not in the denominator, I need to multiply by what's missing. Change the numerators, and I'm abbreviating. Multiply by the missing, my goodness. Missing factors. So for example, this denominator only had, let me write the whole common denominator in here. Both of them, you're going to write out the entire common denominator. X plus 1, x minus 1, x minus 2. And again, okay. My first fraction, in the numerator, I had an x plus 3 there. And my second one had a 2 already. So now, from my denominator on the left, it only had x plus 1, x minus 1. What's missing to change it into my new denominator? This x minus 2. So I'm going to multiply whatever's missing, which is the x minus 2. I'm going to multiply this one by the x minus 2. The second one, x plus 1, x minus 1, x minus 2. What's missing from previous? Previous just had x minus 2, x minus 1. So what do I need to multiply by what's, like this it already had, but it didn't have an x plus 1. Right here, where my finger is, there's no x plus 1. That's what I need to make sure that's included and I multiply the numerator by that x plus 1. Any questions on this so far? When you're quiet, I can't tell whether you get it or whether you're confused or what. Okay. Since I now have a common denominator, I'm going to write one fraction with my common denominator. Let's save space. We're going to have to really... x plus 1, x minus 1, x minus 2. Now I'm going to simplify the numerators. I've got to FOIL, combine like terms, get everything together. So go ahead and FOIL, double distribute, and let's write down our new numerators. Okay, when I FOIL x plus 3x minus 2, I'm going to get x squared plus x minus 6, right? Plus, now I'm going to go over here. Distribute the 2 times the quantity x plus 1. 2x plus 2. Now I can combine like terms on top. I don't do anything to the bottom yet because guess what? I'm going to have to refactor this new numerator into parentheses and maybe I can cross something out. So things that are the same after I multiply. X squared is still alone. Plus x plus 2x, those are like terms. Plus 3x. Negative 6 and positive 2 is negative 4. Keep the denominator simplified the entire time. X plus 1, x minus 1, x minus 2. Okay. If my end goal is to be able to cancel out some of these parentheses, I have to now factor this. So I'm writing down and multiplying, getting long trinomial, polynomial, and then refactoring it. Simplest form is factored form. What is my factored form of the numerator? What two numbers multiply to make 4 and add up to 3? Okay, x plus 4, x minus 1. Okay, I'm going to simplify what I can. Cross out what's the same in top and bottom. The same is this x minus 1. Final answer. I'm now ready to write my final answer. The only thing remaining is the x plus 4. Then x plus 1, x minus 2. You're done. That's that. Okay, I'm doing another one. This is actually our last problem in notes because we're only doing adding today. Give me your thumbs. I need to do the voting thing by thumbs. Like, I understand this. I could benefit from more practice. I'm lost. It's just in front of your body. It's for me. Okay, thank you. You can put it down. All right. So I'm on this second example here. I'm trying to find a common denominator. All right. LCM. 3x plus 4, nothing can simplify. So whatever, leave it. But 6x squared plus 5x minus 4. That can be simplified. Okay. Do you guys have a preferred method? I don't know. I'm kind of feeling that this one might be hard for you guys to factor. So, lots of options exist. Chances are high that 3x plus 4 is going to be one of them, because otherwise, what's the point? Okay? But I can't assume that you guys... Here's a method that I teach my kids, but it's like it's not guess and check. It's like a little pattern. So A times C goes here on the top. A's get written, the B middle term is there. The B middle term is 5. A times C is negative 24. 6 times negative 4. A is 6. Sorry. So now that I have this, I would say what multiplies to make negative 24 and adds up to 5? Eight and 3 add up to 5. Positive 8, negative 3. You're right. So these are going to be the beginnings of my parentheses. But 6 over 8 is now a fraction, and if I can reduce it, I need 2. And 6 over 3 is a fraction. If I can reduce it, I need 2. So this side, that's where the answers are going to be. 6 over 8 is 3 over 4. And 6 over negative 3 is 2 over negative 1. This is my two parentheses. 3x plus 4, 2x minus 1. That's a method. It's called like the X method or star method. But again, if you forget where everything goes, then you're just kind of like in trouble. So it's a method, but it's not the most reliable, because a student 2 years from now might say, I don't remember where the things go. So writing out parentheses and like plugging in numbers, guessing and checking is also a very good method. My LCM. This has 3x plus 4. This has 3x plus 4 and 2x minus 1. I have to use what's in both. So for sure, the 3x plus 4 is going to be one of them. And I have to do the 2x minus 1. I rewrite, making a new fraction with my new common denominator. 3x plus 4, 2x minus 1. All right, this had a 2x, and this had 4x squared minus 11x minus 12. Okay. So I rewrote my fractions with the new denominator. What do I need to do to 3x plus 4 to get 3x plus 4, 2x minus 1? What do I need to multiply the top and bottom by? The 2x minus 1. So I am doing 2x minus 1, 2x minus 1. Like that. This denominator actually is fine, because it is the same. I don't need to multiply the 4x squared minus 11 by anything. Okay. So I think that you can distribute like this now. And we're going to add addition sign. So the denominator stays the same. 3x plus 4, 2x minus 1. Distribute the top. 2x times 2x. And then 2x times negative 1. And then write the next one as is. 4x squared minus 11x minus 12. Okay. Combine like terms where you can, and then we're going to factor it. 8x squared minus 13x minus 12, 3x plus 4, 2x minus 1. I have to try and factor the top because maybe I can cross something out, you know? So, multiplying to make 96 and 13. If I use this method, 96 and 13. 96 is 32 times 3. That doesn't make a 13. 96 divided by 16? No. 16 and 6. 16 times 6. No, that doesn't make 13. 96 divided by 4. 4 and 24. No, that doesn't make 39 or 13. 96 divided by 8. Oh, that's 12. No, 96 divided by, you guys, I don't think so. So, you can't factor it. And so you leave it just like this. All right, you're finding the common denominator, making new fractions, and then putting the numerators together, simplifying, and all that. All right, good job. Thank you.